How do you go from a place where your poi are just kind of spinning as the music is playing to one in which they're actually spinning with the music, hitting the accents, making sure the audience knows that you're trying to hit the beats of that music? Well, we're going to cover that in this video. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And in this video, I'm going to take you through 5 different exercises that will help you be able to catch the beat of whatever music you're listening to and make sure that it reflects in your spinning and flow. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I have down in the description of this here video. Okay, so this is a problem that has multiple stages of solutions to it. First and foremost, we need to get used to being able to actually hear the beat in the music that we're listening to, and then we need to start training ourselves to be able to spin the poi in time with it. And this is actually a deceptively difficult thing to get down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through not just how to identify the beat of the music, but also I'm going to take you through 5 specific exercises so that you can begin to learn how to channel that beat through your poi with 5 different types of tricks and ways of spinning the poi. We're going to start off with the most basic part of all, which is learning to count to the music. So in broadest strokes, Western music is usually made up of 4 beats that are grouped together into something called a measure. And every 4 measures, something tends to change about the music, whether it be the dynamics, the feel of it, what have you. This can be where we shift from a verse to a chorus, but the first and most important task is to be able to hear that beat and be able to cue into it. If you can't do that much, you're not going to be able to synchronize the poi to it. So what I find is really helpful is to actually just isolate the beat. One exercise you can do is to actually pull up a metronome and just practice being able to snap your fingers in time to it. You can start by just snapping your fingers at the beginning of every measure, then you can work to snap your fingers every other beat, and then finally to snap your fingers on every beat. Here's what it sounds like. So with the metronome, we're getting a slightly different sound on the 1. If you listen. So if I want to snap my fingers on the 1, it'll sound like this. 1, 1, 1. Now every other beat, 1, 1, 1, 1. Every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Personally, I find it's much more comfortable to snap on the 1 and the 3 and to move my hand back and forth. This is actually going to set us up for the next exercise that we're going to do here. So I recommend just getting comfortable with this, going back and forth, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This alone can take a lot of practice, so be patient with yourself and work at it. You want to be able to cue in and be able to anticipate each and every beat as it's coming up. Alright, so once you get pretty comfortable with being able to identify the beat and snap your fingers back and forth to it, we can actually take that knowledge and use it directly with the poi. In the same way that we move our hand back and forth as we're snapping our fingers, we can move our hand back and forth with the poi in a pendulum as well. Let me show you. When we start up here, I can think that I would do the same thing when I was snapping, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and with the poi, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going straight back and forth, like so, in time with that metronome. Awesome. And it does need to be said that if you're going to do this pendulum exercise, you're probably going to have to push your pendulums back and forth as you're going here. If you just do a straight pendulum with your hand barely moving, you may or may not synchronize the poi with the beat. You really have to emphasize the motion of your hand as you go back and forth in order to snap the poi between these 2 locations in time with the metronome. Okay, so for our next exercise in honing in our poise spinning to the beat of the music, we're going to go ahead and bring in the butterfly. The butterfly is really, really useful because when we think about music, we think about there being something called a downbeat, which is usually what happens on the 1 and the 3 count in the music, and an upbeat, which happens on the 2 and the 4. So I can think that I'm going to try and speed up my butterfly to hit every single beat of the music, 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can switch back and forth between having the downbeat of the poi, which go underneath my hands on the 1 and the 3, and the upbeat, that is when they go over my hands, on the 2 and the 4. So I can think 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Let's go ahead and try that with the metronome and see how it goes. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Speed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back and forth between those two extremes, and it will teach you a lot about how to slow down and speed up the poi to cue into the beat of the music. So you might be asking yourself, if we're playing around with music that breaks down into 4-beat groupings, how exactly do we use poi tricks that have beats that don't match up with 4? Stuff that isn't 2 or 4 beats, stuff that is, say, things like the 3-beat weave, where we have each hand doing an over, under, back, over, under, back. Well, the key here is to hone in on parts of the trick where you actually do break down into groups of either 2 or 4. Namely, as we're doing a 3-beat weave, we're switching which hand is on top each time, and we can shoot to have the contact point where the hands come back together as coinciding with the beat of the music. So I can think that I'm going to open up 1, come back on 2, open up 3, come back on 4, and try to synchronize my 3-beat weaves here. In order to do this, whichever hand is switching around to being on top, you have to exaggerate the movement just a little bit in order to make sure that it lands in the proper way. So once again, let's do this with the metronome. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? You can hit the percussion just as well with a 3-beat weave. You just have to know what to look for. Now, by far, my favorite poi trick for working with music is the poi stall. There's just something about bringing the poi to a complete stop and then switching direction on it that looks to me the way a drum beat actually sounds. And luckily, poi stalls are a great way to practice cueing into the beat of the music. I like to think of this as happening in kind of a slow fashion. You want to basically choke up on your tethers so that your poi are about half length and think that you're going to try and hit a stall on every one of a measure. So I would think that I'd be hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and doing really exaggerated circles in between each of the stalls. So let's do that with our metronome, shall we? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The trick here is getting to make sure that you're getting enough space in between each of those stalls so they really, really hit. So for our final poi trick to synchronize up with the music, we're going to play around with 4-pedal anti-spin flowers. And at first, this might seem like a relatively simple proposition. After all, there are 4 pedals and 4 beats. Therefore, we're just going to hit a pedal with each beat, right? Well, you'd be correct, but there's a surprisingly difficult challenge hidden inside of this. Some of you may already be familiar with the fact that there are only 3 downbeats in a 4-pedal anti-spin flower. That is 3 points at which the poi pass underneath the hand. Left, bottom, right, left, bottom, right. There is no downbeat associated with that top pedal. It's just an upbeat. So it might seem like the way to go then is to count off each of those downbeats and the upbeat, in which case we'd wind up with down, 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 up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Problem is, On the sides, we're counting moments at which the poi is pointing down. And visually, we really want to have the poi pointing out to coincide with the beat. So how do we get there? What I tend to do is when I'm on the sides, I think that I'm looking for each of those pedals to be something like a stall that I'm trying to hit on time with the beat. When it comes to the top and bottom pedals, I just treat it like I did with the butterfly, thinking that we're looking for moments of least and most effort, going up, down, down. So altogether, we want to think that we're going to go down, side, down, stall, up, stall, as we go around to make each of those pedals line up with the beat. So let's see it in action. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. All right, so all this is fine and dandy when you're practicing with a metronome, but what about when it comes to spinning to actual music? What about when there's all those other instruments in the mix and the beat might be more complex than just simply 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, the long and short of it is that you're going to have to practice hearing that beat in the music, no matter what else is going on in it. Generally speaking, you can zero in on that by listening for a couple specific sounds in the music. There are 2 specific parts of a drum kit that will tell you where each of these beats are. There's one that sounds very, very low that's called either a bass or a kick drum. It sounds like this. And there's also a higher, more snappy one that cuts through the mix that usually is on the 2 and the 4 called a snare that sounds like this. And of course, there are plenty of variations on these, and as you listen to music, you'll find that there's a lot of different tonal variations on different kicks and snares in different songs. But by and large, this is what you should be listening for and seeing if you can pull it out of the mix. All right, now let's work with an actual piece of music and apply all the knowledge that we've picked up in this video. We'll go ahead and identify the beat of the music and be able to count along to it, as well as go through all 5 of the individual poi trick exercises that I've outlined earlier. I've gone ahead and pulled a piece of music out of the YouTube audio library to use for demonstration purposes. It's pretty close to 120 beats per minute, so it won't be that big an adjustment from what we're used to. If you want to do this exercise yourself, I will go ahead and include a link to this piece of music down in the description, or you can just do a Google search for popular songs that are at 120 beats per minute. There are absolutely no shortage of them out there. But for right now, let's use this, and I will show you how we do all of this. First and foremost, we got to find the beat. I can already kind of tell where it is, but I'm still going to wait for the percussion to kick in. There we go. You hear that? That's our snare drum, that's our 2 and our 4, so we can count around that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with butterflies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 beat weaves now. We'll wait for the beat to kick back in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now our stalls, which we're definitely going to need to hear the beat for. Three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our 4 pedal anti-spin flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go, friends. Awesome. I hope these exercises were helpful, and more than anything else, I hope that they have provided a great entryway into making your poi more musical by honing into that beat. Did you get anything out of this video? Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I want to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. And if you out there want to get your name in the credits or access to a whole host of other awesome rewards, you can do that by checking out my Patreon over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. I'll leave a link down in the description as well as up in the cards. Please check that out and help me out in my mission of bringing poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. Thank you in advance. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper in making those stalls musical, I did an entire video with an exercise on how to get your stalls to work with the music in any timing and direction mode. I'll go ahead and link to that up on screen as well as down in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow yourself today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.